Alrighty, and without further ado, just get this misery over with and go ahead and give us your little recap.
All right. Well, the game kicked off. The Packers went down the field and scored. And then our veterans decided to poo-poo the game with a bad pick because Cooks can't run a route. 14-0. I think we punt. And basically it gets 20-0, and the dagger's thrown when Dak throws a pick six at midfield. 26-0 just before half. I think we get one touchdown in before halftime. But that was all she wrote. And so 26-7 at halftime. Ball game. So that's basically my recap. I mean, we could. Second half didn't matter in my opinion. So let's just get into it, I guess. Bro, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with the McCarthy team. But
Ian, I have a little bit of a breaking news for you.
Okay.
Statement from owner and Jerry Jones on Mike McCarthy. So this is from DallasCowboys.com. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy will return for the 2024 season, according to a statement from owner and general manager Jerry Jones on Wednesday night. And I think that's a good jumping off point.
All right, but also going to make this appointment still stands then, because 2 out of these 4 playoff games, this man has not had this team prepared or mentally ready. And I think what I was going to say is that should be a fireable offense. Now, what Justin just announced, I think was pretty obvious that he was going to stay his final year here. And I've kind of accepted that reality, and now I will absolutely have to accept that reality. But I think bringing him back is a mistake. Well, yeah, I think it's a mistake.
Right before the pod, I had seen a tweet or two about that, announcing that he would return. Oh, my God. I know that it's kind of expected at this point, but Jesus Christ. And we know the Joneses, they're not the type to bring in a sexy name or, some young upstart unless it's like one that played on their football team. They like to bring in someone with a proven track record or whatever. So you couldn't have the highest expectations. But like Ian mentioned, dude, the game plan, in my opinion, was weak. The interceptions, the second one, not the Jair Alexander one, the second one, the dude knew the route that was being run. I mean, it was like a problem we talked about with Kellen, where you get into these predictable situations, and it was a predictable situation. Guy jumped it. He knew it was coming. It was intercepted. And then there was one in the end zone that was dropped by that linebacker dude. Don't have his name on me, but that was predictable as well. So, I mean, knowing the Joneses, you knew this was coming, but it's disappointing in my opinion.
It is not disappointing. I disagree with both of y'all. I don't like to operate in the landscape of the unknown. And for the past 3 seasons, this man has gotten you 12 wins. I can name countless examples of other hires flaming out, whether it be a retread or a new face. Fact of the matter is, nobody wants to say this because that's a little bit grim, but Jerry Jones, 82 years old, bro. That dude ain't got time to be waiting for some young hotshot to figure it out or not figure it out on the fly like we've seen. He doesn't have time for a retread to come in and rebuild it from the ground up. This is a matter of, hey, we're not going to pay another coach. We're not going to pay 2 coaches because McCarthy still got some on his contract. So you got 1 more year to figure it out. Then we'll determine an extension or not. Probably won't be an extension. I mean, if the way it plays out like it always plays out. But fact of the matter is, in my opinion, this is the best thing going forward if you want to compete next year. You can debate semantics of whether or not they're true contenders or whatnot. But if you want to get in the playoffs next year, this is the best thing you could do going forward. I don't think getting a retread or some young gun to try and figure it out on the fly, especially with these are McCarthy guys, these are Dan Quinn guys. Like, the best thing going forward is to keep the status quo if you want to make the playoffs. I don't think you make the playoffs next year if you hire a different coach.
I'll be honest, man. Well, so okay, I think there's like this idea that you have to, sell everything for parts and get rid of everyone. I don't believe that, but I think you do need certain changes. I think your play caller just wasn't up to
So
snuff.
you
Hang on,
want
hang on, hang on.
to
Actually, before we go all forward and we talk about our own directions of what we wanted to do in the future, this did creep into my mind. And Justin, you're the best person to ask since you're on board with this. Now, it looks very likely that Dan Quinn is probably going to go get a job as a head coach elsewhere. Since more than likely we all know how the Jones operate, everything will stay the same except for Dan Quinn leaving. Justin, is that, in your opinion, a good enough selling point to say like, oh, okay, we'll definitely make the playoffs again, which I kind of do believe, barring injury. But is Dan Quinn leaving fix some of the problems that we all saw in big games this year and also clearly in the playoffs? Because I'm not that confident, but I'm interested to hear what you say.
Well, depending on who they hire, I think that's going to change the landscape of who you bring in and who you let go defensively. I think I don't want to go into like names or anything like that, but I think a lot of people that shouldn't have been playing and getting major playing time on defense had a lot to do with politics. In regards to Dan Quinn. And then I think like everybody want to talk about, oh, well, there's a reason why your linebackers are so small because of injury and this, that, and the other. That dude, Dan Quinn, made a decision to make the personnel around like that, bro. He chose, like, say, believe it or not or whatever, like if the linebackers that they cut were good enough, but that man chose to roll with all these safeties converted into linebackers. That man chose to ride with LVE and Damone Clark as your only true linebackers on the team to start the season. That was a choice. So I do think that changing a direction in the defensive coordinator might change up your personnel, and you're not so reliant on this, oh, we're going to have all these undersized, fast guys, but so every team that chooses not to pass the ball can just run the ball at will.
Yeah. No, while Justin and I disagree on the offensive direction, I couldn't agree more on the defensive direction. You're right completely. It wasn't just, oh, he had injury issues, so he had to deal with what he had. He chose what he had. So, no, I definitely think a new defensive direction would benefit the team. Now, like we were talking about a second ago, it depends on who they hire. And we saw bad defensive coordinators here with like Mike Nolan before Dan Quinn, but and that's to say, I guess Dan Quinn wasn't horrible. He was actually good at some points, but when he was the personnel chooser, this is the results of it. And again, we texted throughout the week about how to attack that Shanahan, McVay, McDaniels, that new style offense, LaFleur. And that's a what was Dan Quinn 0-6 in those matchups. So no, I definitely think we need someone who can stop that if we want to get anywhere.
Well, Rudy, jumping off real quick, I'll be real quick. Jumping off that, I do think I can't have McCarthy pick who the DC is going to be.
That was going to be my next question, actually.
McCarthy done lost that privilege already with the Mike Nolan thing.
And I don't think he would, even without the Mike Nolan thing, knowing that he's potentially just going to see this 1 year out and could lose the job after the next offseason. I can't foresee the Joneses being like, yeah, you pick him. I definitely don't think that.
If we know how the Jones operate, does that mean someone who's already here? Is that going to someone's going to get over promoted, or are we bringing in?
I already told you, Ian. I already told you my guess of who it's going to be, or I told both of y'all.
Mike Zimmer.
I guarantee it's going to be a rumor here or two that Mike Zimmer going to be talked about
that
in DC.
Would not inspire confidence.
If David Moore writes about Mike Zimmer, he's been hired as the DC.
Well, it can't be an internal hire. I will say that. I cannot have anything associated with Dan Quinn.
I agree. No, I definitely
if you want to keep Al Harris as defensive backs coach, since under his regime the DBs know how to get picks, I'll allow it. But anybody else, we ain't running no Dan Quinn tree scheme, bro. I can't have that. I can't have linebackers 210
We got to revoke if he's gone, we don't have to worry about this. But revoking some draft privileges. Our 1 and 2 picks being Mozzie, and I think McCarthy really likes Schoonmaker. Good grief. I mean, look, I'm not going to – well, I mean, no. We could have brought in 2 players that could have impacted the situation we were in. And we got 2 players who did nothing. And one guy decided to stay inbounds, and the only time he ever had a chance to make a play. So –
bro, with the fake comeback, it could. I would have at least liked to see what happened if he would have actually gotten out of bounds.
Oh, we all would have. But this idiot is like, I'm gonna stay in bounds with no timeouts.
Chill out. But I see. I understand your point. But
okay.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to say because I'm not sure who would be a good defensive coordinator option. Although I do agree with Justin's point that we're gonna have to beef up this linebackers and the D line. We're going to need some meat because, bro, I'm so tired of getting tossed by teams that are running the football against us. So hopefully that change comes. Mike Zimmer does inspire confidence, but hey, I'll have to throw out a name. And then other than Wink Martindale or, I don't know, somebody's name I don't know, I don't really have a better option at the time so I guess we could just look at the offense.
Well, and real quick, because I know, some people listening may look at other defensive coordinators around the league that are successful. I think you and all 3 of us are actually discussing that it's not likely for the Ravens defensive coordinator to make a lateral move to become the Cowboys defensive coordinator. So a lot of those good DCs are kind of out of the question unless their contracts expire or something. But it's just – anyway, I don't have a name for you either. I mean, Wink doesn't sound too bad compared to Mike Zimmer, but Jesus, goddamn.
He's definitely blood, though. He's a lesser of 2 evil. Well, that's pretty harsh on both of them, but I would say he inspires a little bit more confidence at the very least. Well, we'll see, and it'll be pretty important for this next season. It'll be interesting to see who takes this job. I don't even know if they think it's just a 1-year gig. Being the Cowboys DC. So
a job's a job. It's an audition. No matter, it's an opportunity. It doesn't matter. I mean, don't move your family, but hey, it's an opportunity to put some.
If McCarthy's out, you're the potential next head coach.
Well, it doesn't have to be here. It could be elsewhere.
That's true. Actually, that's a good point. But I'm actually kind of glad that they've actually already made this announcement that McCarthy's staying because I don't want to be wandering for too long because I think that's bad look for Jones and the entire team. So I'm glad they got that settled. McCarthy, bro.
Now, I know both of y'all want to put the scope on the man himself, but hypothetical for you. I know y'all ain't going to believe anything even if they make the playoffs, but if the offense continues to improve like they did second half of the season, or at least after week 4 or whatever, and you get a real running back in here, and let's just look at it from offensive standpoint with McCarthy. Are you okay with let's just say that the offense is new and improved, got another year under McCarthy, Dak's better than ever again, like he was last year. You fixed the run game, whether it be fixing some personnel on the offensive line, fixing some personnel in the backfield. Would that be enough to
So let me just say this. We did see improvement.
Confidence?
No. Okay, so no. My answer ultimately will be no because we did see improvement after San Fran. And then in the most important game, which is the playoff game, the man reverted and regressed and definitely went back on, I don't know, he was either outsmarted himself or got nervous and scared by drive 3. And both are really bad, in my opinion. And going forward, do not inspire confidence. Now, Justin, I will agree. If we are getting a good running back in here and focus more on the run this season or next season, and can prove that we can run the ball. All right, I'll be a little bit more confident. But I'm also going to very worried that this man is just going to make the wrong move over nerves or, I don't know, just outsmarting himself. Because what happened in this game when CD was complaining after drive 1, it's just bizarre and inexplicable, and in my opinion, was a fireable offense. But I don't need to bring that up anymore since we've already had the future determined.
I don't have confidence going into that playoff game. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, if he revamps the offense, like, and this year compared to last year, we hit the seam a little more. We were attacking the middle of the field, but word was coming out that wasn't even McCarthy. That was more Dak being like, we need to do this, and so.
I thought it was CD, which I mean, it's so worrisome that a wide receiver has to yell at you to fix it. Congrats, you fixed it. But then in a playoff game, you do it again.
Okay, well, say what you want. That man ain't stubborn. He at least is open to critique.
Well, he was stubborn at the worst moment, man. He was stubborn in the biggest game, and I feel like that will be over that will be over his head, bro, all season.
I will say this: doesn't help when. You can't take forever to figure out, how we want to play today. But it doesn't help when the defense going to, in the first 7 drives, give up 6 touchdowns. I can't have that either, bro. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The defense was miserable as well. Like, my attacking McCarthy is nothing. Like, it doesn't separate my hate for the way our defense played as well. I can hate both. I got plenty of hate to go around about that game. But no, and like what you're talking about, we'll have a new and improved run game with what run blockers? I mean, like, our run blocking at best in some games was average and at worst was miserable. We are going to have a completely new backfield because I don't think we re-signed Tony Pollard. Maybe Rico comes back on the most team-friendly deal, but we're broke as hell. So we're probably going to. I'm telling you, we're broke as hell though. So we're going to be doing.
We need a new backfield, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be a new backfield with I assume the exact same offensive line. So, and it's going to be running backs on the cheap. So I don't foresee that happen.
We get a new backfield. You're going to get a new center. And we'll see what happens after that. Because I think the option, he's a free agent. More. So,
we'll see. Because Rudy, I mean, you have Tyler Smith, you have Zach Martin. Maybe Terrence Steele will heal better after his injury. Maybe some confidence will come. I mean, running wasn't the run blocking his specialty before he got hurt. Terrence Steele. So in theory, you have 3 out of 5 of the pieces there. Tyron Smith, I don't know what's going to happen with him, and honestly, he's not going to play all the full season anyways. Tyler Biadasz is probably the best solution of fixing that. Maybe you can flip the script, and hopefully McCarthy. I mean, we can also talk about this conversation. Dak staying, guys, he's going to be here for at least a year. I'm shocked there's even talk about him not being here a year afterwards. I kind of think he'll be here for another 4 years. So McCarthy needs to figure out a way to take food off that, or not put so much food on his plate, bro. Yeah. And that comes with running the ball, and that comes with, like Justin already said, the defensive side of the ball, not going 1 for 7 on defensive stops. But it will be another big task for McCarthy to figure out is how do I run the ball and how do I take the weight off Dak's shoulders.
Well, and that's the thing, too, with McCarthy is that he's always, like, even go back to Green Bay. I mean, they had some good running backs there, too, at some points, and he still wasn't the running back guru. Like, unless we're bringing in Bill Callahan in 2014, I don't know how the offensive line, I don't know how the run schemes, I don't know how it all gets improved in this offseason.
You get a running back to actually. I'm gonna chill out. But
again, to your point, I don't even know how. I don't know where we're gonna get that stud running back
draft.
Okay.
And I will say this to all the Dak poo haters or whatever. Like it or not, I want y'all to name go through the list of top 5 bona fide quarterbacks, and you'll be surprised where the man y'all hate so much is listed on there. So let's go ahead and start. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. After that,
the haters are going to throw out Jordan Love.
Oh no!
The haters.
There's no such thing as you can't. 1 year sample size does not count, bro.
Hey man, like I'm not gonna argue with it. The thing that's gonna happen is he's gonna get his contract extended because they're gonna lower that salary cap hit.
That's what I was alluding to. by saying that
And
man's
I
going to be
know
around for another 4
they're
years, and
gonna
I'm
be-
fine with that. I got no issue. We can go back and forth with McCarthy and whatnot, but Dak staying here, I'm totally cool with that.
And look, it makes sense for the salary cap situation. I know old Ray Broker's going to hate that. He was texting the group chat, and he's like, we better not extend him. You know that's going to happen. And so
Where do you think he's going to go? They can't cut him.
Who's this Ray Broker you speak of? This
He has a
first time I'm hearing this name.
He has a no trade clause. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And
his cap hit's too big to try to even build anything around him, so they're going to have to.
And team draft for the quarterback, good luck with that. Like, before 2018, name me a quarterback that's kind of really worked out besides, like, C.J. Stroud. And that was, like, number 2 overall pick. Guess what? Yeah, they picked – no, not even the 1-2s have failed, bro. Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly, yeah.
Bryce Young. Who are the other? Dare I bring up Daniel Jones?
He didn't deserve to get taken that high.
Kenny Pickett, some other first round quarterbacks, bro. Like,
you're a big Mitch Trubisky guy.
Well, I said after 2018. So.
Sorry.
No disrespect, but Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, no thank you.
Yeesh. No, and I think we brought this up at the beginning of the season. I'm more than certain, and it was that or at least I thought the defense was going to be the front runner for this team, and it was clearly Dak throughout the season. And it can't be like that again, and that's what hopefully McCarthy does in year 5, and hopefully he's learned from it. I mean, he has to, bro, because the man ain't gonna make it through the season otherwise if he ain't learned that.
So I know now that it's over, I guess we're a fully Ravens pod now. Even though since this is the second
Y'all have always
team.
been a Ravens pod.
Oh, Hohen, our man
That's not a slur.
Lamar. That man.
It's a compliment.
With all due respect, though, this Houston Texans praise it's got to go, bro. I can't believe people think they're gonna beat Baltimore. Like they haven't watched the Texans game all year.
Someone like serious with a brain said that the Texans are going to beat Baltimore.
Yes, bro. They're acting like this next slate of games, and they're like, "Oh, the AFC quarterback picture. This is going to be an amazing slate of games, dude. The Bills are going to crack the Chiefs' head. Baltimore is going to whoop up on the Texans, and y'all going to be like, bro, football was awful this weekend." And that's your fault for only, and that's your fault for only looking at the quarterback names.
All right, I do find that actually highly hilarious that outcome will probably play out with the NFL fans. I don't know, but listen about that Bills talk though, bro. I feel like they got a bugaboo.
It's at home. You talking about the mental gymnastics? Well, if that happens, then McDermott can go ahead and get fired too. We call him for heads then, because there's no reason why Buffalo should not win this game on Sunday.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be Buffalo-Baltimore, that AFC Championship game. Anyone saying Houston's going to beat Baltimore, they don't watch football. They're just making shit up.
I don't know. They played them pretty tough week 1.
Oh,
God. Okay, guy.
Well, I will say this. I know we're
know what it's like.
I know we're a Baltimore podcast too, but I will say this. If we talking about pushing agendas, bro, I cannot have Baltimore Ravens up to their Ravens antics in the first half, bro, because that's the formula for disaster, given their playoff history of late.
I mean, y'all have seen more Baltimore Ravens games than anyone in Dallas, so y'all know how that can go. But
Justin, I would say
okay, go.
Well, I was just going to say, Justin, I think this is a different Baltimore team, too, even if they are unserious, which is their MO. Bro, it is their MO. I think they can still survive
this year.
Well, yeah. But somehow their unserious has progressed throughout the season to the point that even if they do stink around the first half, bro, their unseriousness, it evens out is what I'm saying, bro. Like they've mastered their own unseriousness to better their own team throughout the season, bro. That's what we're seeing right now. So
I argue that
yes, foolishness will happen, but
I would argue that the time off did them no good because they got in a little bit of a rhythm in those primetime games of not being unserious, and all that time off. You know how that does for tight mentalities and tight muscles. I can't have unseriousness that first quarter, bro. I can't have a Lamar fumble. I can't have a busted Marlon Humphrey coverage. I can't have well, just Tucker ain't gonna miss a field goal, even though he has four. But yeah, I can't
You
have
just jinxed
Harbaugh.
it.
I can't have Harbaugh being greedy. I can't have that, and then just spotting the Texans 10 points or something like that. So
Well, one of those things will definitely happen, but they ain't going to spot him 10 points. That's for damn sure. Well, I was confident last week, so I don't know how confident I am saying this stuff. But.
Yeah, oh my God. I felt so confident in so many things, and now I just feel like I don't even know what football is. They should not lose that game. There could be a fumble. There could be by Lamar.
there's no could. There will be one.
Okay, and they should overcome that. That's one possession. I mean, if I see them go out and lay an egg and lose to Houston at home, I couldn't be more disappointed. That would be awful, man. And I would hate to see the wave of new Texans fans pop out of the woodshed. That's gross,
Bro,
too.
the dumbest thing I won't go into that on here, but that is what it is. I mean, whatever, bro. Like that's a 1 week honeymoon, like this Jordan Love stuff too. Cause that boy Bosa already cutting a promo during media availability during the week. And the last two times he did that against quarterbacks, they embarrassed them. So whether it be in Jacksonville or Philadelphia. So the fact that man already cutting a promo on Jordan Love, that doesn't bode well in my opinion for the Packers' chance, which they shouldn't even have a shot anyways because Dan Quinn done embarrassed me. But that's neither here nor there.
Yep, and I mean, going to the other AFC game, I definitely think Buffalo goes ahead and takes care of business on the road. I'll take the Josh Allen train on that one. The Buffalo's home to they're hosting KC.
Because Kadarius Toney gave him a gift.
Oh, true. Okay, yeah. I don't believe in KC at all. They iced the Dolphins. No, you believe in KC?
I will be the lone person on this saying
I think
KC
he just
will
believes in the. I think he thinks Buffalo is just gonna crash out at the sight of the red and yellow or whatever.
Veto.
Yeah,
bro, he not wrong though, because they do act like they don't know how to play when they play that team. But most uninteresting game in my opinion is Lions Buccaneers. Good grief.
Well, let's just say, bro, I'll be rooting for the least insufferable quarterback left on the NFC, and that is the Goof. His redemption arc, bro. I hope it continues on to championship. Yes, the least insufferable. So, whatever. I don't know. 2 negatives. Whatever, bro. What I'm saying. I guess that's backwards.
Dude, watching. Okay, so the Lions win one playoff game, and you would have thought it was the Super Bowl. The way everyone's talking about.
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna throw a flag because I'm not just singling you out, Rudy. Because Justin was just saying this too about Stroud, bro. He's hearing too much talk, bro. Just let it happen for the 2 weeks that it happens, bro. It's about to take a vicious cycle.
Hold on.
It's about to work its way over where everyone's just gonna poo on again. Like
that's fine.
Like
here's my
everybody
whole
else,
point,
bro.
Because that's half the point right there. That's fine. Here's the other half of that point. Their opponent, my God, the love that Baker Mayfield has received since that game against one of the worst secondaries on planet Earth has been outrageous. So, look, whoever loses, the overhyped Dan Campbell's or the number one overall pick who's been treated like Mother Teresa, I am so ready to see them be destroyed. I am sick of it, man. It is gross. It's so gross.
Tommy DeVito was able to put up numbers. I lied. He did not. He got benched. Tyrod Taylor.
But everyone else on planet Earth
was
put up numbers on that Philly defense. And then we're suddenly like, poor Jason Kelsey, he's gone, and Baker Mayfield's a Hall of Famer. What the hell is all that?
Rudy. I saw like a couple of people being like, you know how like Baker rightfully got benched in Carolina last year? And that man was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be I gotta get this PR spin. I gotta make sure that I keep my good image, quote unquote, and I'm gonna play defensive scout team and line up in a 3-point stance." Bro, I saw people like, "Oh man, Carolina had this man on the practice squad, quote unquote, running scout team. Now they're 0 and what or 2 and whatever with Bryce Young. Bet it wasn't worth it to cut Baker." I'm like,
Dude,
I hope some stupid team gives him an extension. This
It's
next
definitely
year.
gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen.
he's
And
gonna
that
get
man-
paid.
That man gonna flame out per usual. That man,
Hey, bro.
He just,
good for
so
him, bro.
disgusting.
Enjoy it, because next year they're gonna be killing you after you get that contract, bro. So I just say good for him, but to Ruzi's point, bro, it's not even close on the scale of what's more stuff. What's worse, bro? Give me the Lions all day on that one. I'll take that little story and their
That's
Super Bowl
fine.
run
That's
for
fine.
another week, and their
Yeah.
Super Bowl victory against
I mean,
the Bucks.
look, I just hated how, and look, they do have a terrible history, but my God, like they were a good team all year, and you would have thought the 0-16 Lions won the playoff game. Like this is a good quality team against a lesser opponent at home. Good story, it's cute and all, but they should have won that game, and they did. But yeah, that Baker love is gross as well. I'm sick of it.
anything else? Oh wait, hold on.
We have to announce a winner of something. Ian,
Who? I know Rui didn't catch me. I know that for sure.
I did not. Ian, do you want to go ahead and give us the final standings of the pick'ems?
Okay, and third place is Rudy Guerra. With
That's a bronze.
120 W's. In second place, Justin Honor with 127. And in first place, the crown has been passed from Justin to your boy, Chief, with 131 wins to take the crown, bro.
He barely squeaked that out too.
Wow.
Led wire to wire, let it be known. But they're going to say, the rest, the hateful media are going to say, I squeaked it out.
You're our Detroit Lions, so I'm gonna pretend you just won the Super Bowl.
Anything else?
Nah.
Hey, Ravens Super Bowl victories, boy. Blah! Get out of here.